Yo, 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 yo. What up, everybody? It's your favorite YouTuber. Just doing a quick check-in to show you guys where we're at in terms of the bug operations. Today we are moving them to a new home, but I've also got some bad news. You see, the mealworms, it's looking like we lost about half the colony. Another thing is they smell horrible. It's kind of like if you floss your teeth and then you smell the flosser, it smells like fucking terrible, right? That's kind of how the mealworms smell. Probably the superworms too. I'm thinking the problem is because I put rice husk in there and then I watered them. You know, I wanted to just put water on a sponge and that way they can drink. Oh. But I put too much water in, at least that's what the boss is saying. Speaking of the devil, she's working hard as always. Don't disturb her, she will. She will yell, okay? I got her some water, so hopefully that'll help.
Thank you.
Oh my goodness, like when the wind blows even the slightest bit, you can smell that floss smell. Oh my good Lord, it's on my fingers. I just washed my hands and they still smell like worse than an ass. But anyways, yeah, that's, I mean, like I said, these mealworms, A, they were smaller than normal, and B, a lot of them were dead. You know, to go through, part of me is tempted to just throw the whole colony out. But it's not what we're going to do. We're going to nurse them back to good health, breed them, and continue on. Now, the superworm colony seems to be doing all right. A little bit of the same problem in terms of I put too much water in. I think it mixed with the rice husk, and that's where that nasty smell is coming from. But the colony's looking strong. Not too many dead ones. The smell isn't nearly as strong. I mean, I'm sure it's possibly the decaying worms that adds to the smell. But yeah, so far the superworms look good. I'm still going to transport them over here today. I put too much water in there. Way too much. And that's where I went wrong. So I'm about to get scolded, as you know something's terribly wrong when the boss lady's standing like that. But
I haven't said anything.
I know, you don't even got to say anything. It just radiates. There they go. I mean, look at, they're looking.
They're not die.
They haven't died.
But this one, they always gonna die.
Yeah, honestly, I do believe that this colony is not gonna make it. But the superworms are doing work. I'm surprised because I almost didn't bother with superworms. I'm happy that we did. These are some little baby mealworms. I'm not coming up with excuses, but when I did this back in America, the mealworms that I had were thicker. About the same length, a little bit longer, but thick like a superworm, just not nearly as long as a superworm. So, we just received some interesting information. So, Amber's mother used to work with silkworms. And pretty much all these bugs are the same in terms of their cycle, the way that they, you know, the environment they live in, yada, yada, yada. The only difference in this case really is obviously the type of bug. But like I just said, that's not that big of a deal. But also the diet. So going back to, you know, what the problem is, with the mealworms is apparently they kind of sense when they're starting to die. I mean, I guess that makes, you know, if you're in a room full of people dying, you'd notice, obviously. But that just causes a chain reaction to where, like, one worm starts to die and they all start dying. So
Is nobody like the smell bad?
for them, it's, yeah, nobody like, apparently even the worms don't like the smell.
Worm as well.
Makes me, you know, it's one thing I got in common with them. But, yeah, so it's looking like this whole colony is probably going to die. It's probably going to die. Another thing that went wrong, we got to get in the habit of now cleaning, transporting, changing their bins like once a week, and we got to keep it clean. So, hey, we're learning. Little people, oh, you see how using the old scissor method. I was talking it over with the boss, and I think we agreed that the next thing we'll get are some blenders to chop up the material. But we'll see.
It's gonna be cool.
Oh yeah.
It's gonna be cool, people.
Super cool. So Nin is the expert. I would say Nin is the expert and is now going through all the mealworms and choosing which ones are most likely to survive. Yeah, Nin has changed my entire perspective of the worms, because I never thought about worms' happiness. And I know that sounds ridiculous, but they really do, they know a good environment versus a bad environment, and that'll affect...
They have a life.
Yeah, they have a life, you know. These are worms, and we care a lot about them, as you can see. I wish I had gotten this on camera, but if you notice, there's this fire, obviously, that knife, and then those two plastic squares. What we were doing, because we don't have a saw, and by we I mean Amber, she heats up the knife to cut out this. Went right through like butter. Brilliant.
Beautiful amber.
Beautiful amber.
It's beautiful amber.
Mm-hmm. And over here, rescue operations continue. Now we got mulberry leaves. And we're making a huge turnaround. These mealworms are, at least. Other than that, all is well. Bink. Might as well give a waxworm update. So there's still, the moths from our understanding can live up to be like 60 days. They've laid eggs, but no sign of the eggs hatching, which I'm a little bit concerned about, because it should only take 5 to 8 days for the eggs to hatch. It's been longer than that. I don't know, I gotta do some research. But other than that, you know, still the moths are still quite a few of them alive. I'm sure they're still bumping the buoys, so can expect more eggs in the future. But for now, no sign of worms.
Hey, Nin said the eggs take about like 15 days.
15 days.
Like half a month.
Okay, okay. You figure most of the research I've done would have been in a more controlled environment. You know, inside like a laboratory where they're controlling the temperature, humidity, all that. So, okay, the days, the whole timing of each cycle will be different. Okay, that makes sense. Well, people, these are some of our dead soldiers at this point. It's sad to see them go. There's some moths in there as well, but hey, at least they went towards a good cause. Now we'll feed these to Amber's aunt's chickens, and so their names are not in vain. Well, folks, we just received word that there was some sort of a fire at the farm, so we're going to go check out the damages. We put the bugs away. We got there's always going to be something to do with them, so we'll keep you updated. Thanks for tuning in, and until next time, buddy. All right, people, just a bonus showing you the fire damage, because I'm sure you all are interested. It's not so bad. Not a whole lot of damage in respect to the rubber trees and the palm trees. Just lost a lot of bamboo, but that'll grow back, hopefully. Now, I've been back here before. I've showed it in some of these videos. But this, apparently, everything I'm walking on will fill up with water come rain season. So like I'd be walking even right now, it would be up to like my knees, which means all this would be super deep, super deep. And then down that way, like this is technically kind of like an island that I'm on. And if you follow this path, unfortunately right now there's a bunch of bamboo trees that are blocking the path. One of the neighbors cut them all down. But you continue walking back there and there's a whole nother field of rubber trees. But yeah, we'll have to get over there one day and clear all those fallen bamboo trees out of the way. Let's get back and see what the boss is up to. Oh, there she is. All right, I'm now crossed over the bridge onto the other side. We're going to go through. Now, one of these days, it ain't going to be today, but eventually I'll be doing a video of cleaning up all this trash that you see. And if you watched our other video, I posted a couple weeks ago, maybe even about a month, we did the fish rescue squad. Here's where the pond is at now. Completely dried up. Bone dry, people. You walk down there, you'd think you're walking in the Atacama Desert. All those fish that we rescued, they would be dead by now. Although they probably are dead, because they're eaten. They've been eaten, but at least it was humans that ate them and not the birds. The boss, she's not happy right now, if you can't tell. You can just by the body language. So we're not gonna bother the boss right now. Instead, we're gonna take a look at these banana trees, and now I'm closing it out. Once again, thanks for tuning in.